Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. And today's a day that's ruled by the root chakra and guided by free will. And the galactic signature that we're working with today is the yellow spectral human energy. So this yellow human energy is all about influencing free will and wisdom. And so it's this understanding that we arrive on this planet with this beautiful gift of free will. Our free will allows us to make choices and decisions and to decide what our experience is going to be on this planet. Every free will choice that we make creates a whole new experience, right? Creates a new possibility. And as we move through our lives having these different experiences, we then accumulate wisdom. And once that wisdom has accumulated, it is then the yellow human's responsibility to share that wisdom with the collective. Because it's this understanding that we are a collective. Like, yes, we all come in and we have our individual human experiences, but we are also all sharing this larger human experience. And every single person, of course, has a different variation of that experience because we have different choices that we make. We have different situations that we incarnate into. We have different belief systems, right, that we inherit from our ancestors and that are created through our own experiences. So being creator beings, there's really endless possibilities as far as what each of our experience on this planet can look like. However, we can look to the wisdom of others and their shared experiences in order to better navigate our own. And so that's the goal of the yellow human energy, is to make that wisdom available for the collective so that perhaps our free will choices can be more informed, right? We can tap into the wisdom of others, the wisdom of those who have walked the road that perhaps we are walking, and we can utilize their own experience to shift our own experience or to allow us to choose an experience that is more resonant for us. We are all on this journey together, even though the paths we walk may seem very different. And so it's also an acknowledgement and an understanding of that overriding unity and the understanding that every choice and every decision that we make impacts the collective. So it's really taking responsibility for those choices. Once we begin to understand this, it really can shift a lot for us because we understand that our free will choices are actually affecting much more than just ourselves. And once we see the power of that, we can use those choices in a positive way in order to really help to steer the direction of humanity in a much more beneficial way. And so that's sort of the larger energy that we're working with this yellow human energy. It is that energy of wisdom and compassion. It is that energy of unity. It is that energy of honoring our personal sovereignty, right? Honoring that sovereignty and our right to make the choices that we feel are right, but at the same time understanding the larger framework of that as well, and how everything, it's kind of like the butterfly effect, right? One little flutter of a butterfly's wings can change, it can ripple out and create waves of change all around it. And so we're really seeing and understanding us in more ways than one, or understanding ourselves as that butterfly. And so what do we want to create? What do we want that flutter of our wings? What ripples do we want to send out into the world? The affirmation for today is, I dissolve in order to influence, realizing wisdom, or releasing wisdom rather. I seal the process of free will with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by my own power doubled. And so this spectral tone is all about dissolving and liberating. So we are being asked to liberate ourselves today, to liberate each other, to dissolve anything that is no longer serving us, anything that stands in the way of us making that true free will choice. That's what I'm feeling. Is one thing that we're beginning to understand and realize is that, yes, as humans, we do have free will, but our free will has been influenced for a very long time by a lot of different factors. We are in a constant state of being manipulated, right? Our perspective is this, when we talk about being in a spiritual war, right? We talk about how that war is for our minds, right? When you control the mind, you control everything, because the mind controls the perception, it controls the perspective, it creates the reality. And so our free will choices are heavily influenced by outside factors. And so a lot of this energy, this releasing, this liberation energy, this dissolving energy is dissolving all of that conditioning, dissolving all of that programming, so that we can make true free will choices that aren't influenced by all of these outside factors, right? At the same time, of course, we are looking at this of lending of the wisdom and the perspective, right? So we can take the wisdom of others and apply that to our own choices and experience. But we get to make those choices from a clear standpoint, right? From a place that is from a sovereign place. So I'm definitely feeling that energy coming in today. This energy in general is really melding well with the astrology for today. I'll read the secondary affirmation and then we'll get into the astrology. The secondary affirmation is, I am abhuman. I am your free will. I give you the wealth of going your own way. And the guidance is to focus on choosing to be fueled with higher expansive wisdom. Awaken the abilities of your human form by guiding your free will with self-love. Enjoy your humanness. Honor your fellow human journeyers by extending wisdom. And guiding our free will with self-love, that's really important. And it doesn't just say love, right? It says self-love. So making our choices from that standpoint of loving ourselves, right? And when we love ourselves, we naturally are able to love others as well. But it really starts with that love of the self. And I would add to this really making those choices from the standpoint of what is for the highest good of all. Right? Because remember, we are understanding that we are this collective. So the highest good for myself and the highest good for all. And when we do that, when we can pull back our perspective like that, or broaden our perspective, however you want to put it, we can really trust in the choices that we're making and the intent and the motivation behind those choices. All right. And let's see. Do I want to read? Yeah, we'll read this too. So the Astro Dream Advisor says, yellow human is the grail, the golden fleece, the philosopher's stone, the alchemical transmutation that turns baser materials into gold. It is the cornucopia, the paradox of emptiness and harvest, the still place that lies open and fallow, receiving the gifts. Yellow human offers you the gift of beginner's mind in the fullness of union. Be receptive. Yellow human is preparing your circuits for transformation. Become empty that your thirst may be quenched by the bounteous gifts pouring from the chalice of the spiraling galaxies. Open and receive all that yellow human offers in the chalice of your own body. Ebb asks you to strengthen and clear your physical vessel in order to prepare for the expanded energies of higher mind. Your chalice of self is being purified through vibrational adjustments in the brain-body system. With this quickening, adjustments are made and your circuits of consciousness are naturally transformed. Often this process is accompanied by the sensation of being altered or rewired. Higher centers of the brain and the light-sensitive pineal and pituitary glands are being activated to contain more light. This penetration brings you to a critical threshold, creating enormous change at the cellular level. It also activates soul memories and expands your concepts of reality. And this is a really great gateway for these energies of the 8-8 portal that we're in right now to work through in order to facilitate this process for us that we're reading about right now. With this expanded consciousness, your brain-body system is being cleared and fine-tuned so that you can create a sluiceway for the activation and acceleration of cosmic consciousness. This penetration of frequencies and its accompanying quickening is like upgrading the hard drive of your biocomputer and activating the hidden chip, the unused parts of your brain. This is the foundation and awakening of your light body, a body crafted from the expansion of interstellar light within every cell. This body exists in and out of time and space and is able to experience and communicate freely with other dimensions and times. This is the resonant body within those whom Jose Arguelles calls the servant warriors. Those humans who fully realize the dream light body within the physical body and understand the circuitry of the human organism, who use the light body to navigate the electromagnetic waters, which we call the universe. The development of the light body involves strong interaction between spirit and self as you prepare for entrance into the expanded chalice of essence self. In preparing this vessel, you enter into the rites of passion, or passage rather, inherent to cosmic consciousness. And such rites eventually burst any false containers of self that cannot encompass the expanding chalice. In meditation, expand to include all that you are. Then bring that feeling of expansion back into your physical self. In this process, you create a complex stability, opening a chalice of self that is fully rooted in human form. With this expansion, you are free to explore within a new center that, paradoxically, seems to have no center. Yellow Human reveals the secret of being essence within form, everywhere and nowhere, nothing but present in all things. The metaphor of the ever-expanding chalice is a powerful spiritual tool. This chalice represents the eternal container of light, ever filled with Spirit's fire and nourishment. It is the metaphor that represents the form in which your full potential can manifest. Each stage in your journey feels like the final one, but each stage then opens to an expanded form, releasing you into the next stage of consciousness. All the gifts of the macrocosm pour out of the universal cornucopia. With an open heart, empty yourself to be filled with the fruits of your true desire. Through the temple of your body, lift the chalice of your expanded self and declare that it is filled with truth and clarity. Through the temple of your body, lift the chalice of your expanded self and declare that it is filled with truth and clarity. Feel the ecstatic union with your full potential as a human being. Meditate on the cornucopia with you at its center. Lift the chalice of your self-generated energy vortex to greet the vortex that will descend from above. As an open vessel, prepare a place to receive Yellow Human's gifts. When you flow in unconditional love, all the fruits of the universe rush toward you for benediction. Bathe in love's essence as a child splashing in a pool on a hot day. Connect with others in joyous union. Use the broom of Yellow Human to sweep your day clear of past experiences and the issues and obstacles of small mind. In the spirit of Yellow Human, function on all frequencies and power bands. Your cup is filled with the nectar of sacramental union. Be fulfilled by the great harvest of love. How beautiful is that? Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. And so this pairs really well with the astrology that we have going on today, which is pretty intense. So we have the Sun and Mercury still conjunct. They're a couple degrees apart, but they're still very, very conjunct at a couple degrees in this opposition to Saturn. And they are forming a T-square with Uranus. And so this is just a lot of tension going on. This is that energy of us really being asked to evolve. There's some area in our lives right now where we're being asked to evolve. With Saturn's energy here, we're also being asked to step up in terms of our responsibility, in terms of that. It's like that growing up kind of energy. We're being asked to grow up in some way. We're being asked to mature. We're being asked to evolve. Whatever this level of maturity that is being asked of us, this level of responsibility, it's requiring us to evolve. And so there may be a little bit of a push-pull energy here. There may be a little bit of resistance that we're feeling. And so this is really activating that Uranus square Saturn energy. And there is a video in the Astrological Ascensions video playlist. Sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble with my words today, you guys. The Astrological Ascension videos playlist. Talking about this square between Uranus and Saturn, which we're experiencing all through 2021. And it's getting activated by these different planets as they move through it, in, of course, addition to the 3 exact squares that they make throughout 2021. The third of which is coming up sometime this fall, the second of which happened in June. But it's active this whole time, and it's more activated when these planets come into contact with it. And so this area of our lives where we're being asked to step out of our comfort zones, we're being asked to evolve perhaps past what we feel is even possible or natural for us, right? It's a very uncomfortable experience that we may be having with this right now. But just know that we would not be being pushed to evolve if it were not something that we were capable of doing, if we weren't ready for it. So we are ready for this, wherever this is coming up in our lives. But it's really challenging with the Mercury and the Sun here. It's really challenging our view of ourselves, how we see ourselves, how we see the world, right? For some people, this may also have to do with how they're able to express that in the world, how we're able to express the way that we see the world, how we're able to express ourselves within the world, the truth of ourselves that is coming out. And for many of us, it's just a completely new way of viewing ourselves. And we may not be 100% comfortable with that yet because it's so new to us. It's sort of like I think we were talking about the butterfly earlier, so we'll use the analogy of the butterfly again. When the butterfly first starts to emerge from that cocoon, and it's just like, what the hell am I? You know? And even though the wings are so beautiful, they're so different from what the caterpillar was, that the butterfly probably has a little bit of an adjustment period. It's not just the learning how to use the wings, the learning how to fly. It's like the acceptance of the fact that the wings are there. And it may not feel beautiful, even though we know that butterflies are so beautiful. The butterfly may not feel beautiful at first because it feels so different. And that's sort of the point that a lot of us are at right now, is it feels so different. And so there's a little bit of an adjustment period that we may be going through, but we're not really being given a whole lot of time to adjust, which is sort of like the irony of this. If we are struggling with this energy, we have on the opposite end of this T-square the sign of Scorpio. And so that Scorpio energy is the energy that we're being called upon to draw upon. So this is like with this Mercury energy in here, with this Uranus energy, which is a higher octave of Mercury, right? This is a lot of mind energy. So we're being asked to move more into the emotions, to really allow our emotions and our instincts to guide us. Scorpio is a sign of deep instinct. And so working with that instinct, what are our instincts telling us? Right? Not our fears, not that fear programming, not all that false evidence appearing real. Right? But our true instincts. How can we get in touch with those? How can we get in touch with our passions, with what drives us, with our emotions, and allow that to propel us forward? Allow that desire. Remember, Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, is a sign, even though it may be resistant, which is what causes all the suffering for the sign of Scorpio. The true and ultimate programming of Scorpio is to evolve, is to transform. And so really tapping into that innate instinctual desire to transform and evolve, and allowing that to move us forward. Anywhere where we are possibly, like we said, resisting that process. Because it's pointless, right? Once the caterpillar goes inside that cocoon, it is going to emerge a butterfly. There is nothing that can be done to stop that. And why it's like, as the process is happening, the caterpillar may feel that it wants to stop that, because at least it was comfortable as it was before. But once the caterpillar has emerged and it's gotten used to its new wings, I highly doubt that it wishes that it could go back again. Right? And so that's what we have to remember, is even if right now we're wanting to revert to an earlier stage, even if we know it's impossible, that desire might be there. We may be moving back towards that old understanding of who we were, that easier, more comfortable way of being. We don't truly want that, right? It feels like we do in the moment, but that's not what's going to bring us the ultimate fulfillment. That's not what we are. The caterpillar is not a caterpillar. The caterpillar exists as a caterpillar for a period of time, but it is always meant to be a butterfly. Right? So this is us stepping into, I apologize, still transmuting this cold here. This is us stepping into that owning who and what we really are. Claiming that even through the discomfort. Another aspect that we have going on today, we have the moon making a lot of aspects. The moon is highly active. The moon has just moved moved through that opposition with the North Node opposing the South Node conjunct Juno, right? This relationship energy. All of these old beliefs around relationships, this old programming around relationships that we've been looking at. The moon moving through that has really activated that energy, especially in our emotional body. The moon is now currently in a square to Venus, as well as lightly trining Saturn, lightly sextiling Chiron, and sextiling Mercury, and so therefore the sun as well. So a lot of action from that in that emotional body today. A lot of analyzing probably too of our emotions, because we have the moon in Gemini, which is a sign ruled by Mercury, right? Which is very much a mind energy. So we may be in a place of analysis of our emotions. And so once again, for the day, really calling on into that Scorpio energy, allowing ourselves to be submerged in our emotions, to feel them instead of trying to rationalize them. Although that is going to be, of course, like we said, our aim today. That's going to be the go-to, is the rationalizing. So when the rationalizing, if the rationalizing fails, allow yourself to tap into and sink into the feeling. But there's a lot that's going on around our partnerships, a lot that's going on around that old programming, a lot that we may be noticing and understanding about ourselves, about our ability to relate to others, our ability to love, our ability to be loved, our ability to connect on a deep level, a deep and profound level with others. And we may be struggling with that. Gemini isn't necessarily well known for being able to make deep and intimate connection. It can be more of a surface level energy. But we're being challenged to go deeper. And we may be noticing anywhere within us where we have that resistance or those blocks towards that true intimacy and connection. So yeah, lots of intense energy. So we're going to start out with the Thoth Tarot, which tends to be a little bit intense, clear, and see what guidance we have for today. Yes, that yellow human energy coming into play, right? As well. As we are being asked to utilize not just the wisdom of others, but our own wisdom that we've gained from our own experience as we make these free will choices, as we navigate these energies. What are we choosing? Are we choosing our evolution, or are we choosing to fall back into old patterns, into old ways of being? And remember, like we said, the butterfly cannot become a caterpillar. The caterpillar can only become a butterfly. And so if we are moving back into old ways of being, that's not going to be successful in the long term. We're going to be pushed to evolve, whether we like it or not. Or it's going to be so incredibly uncomfortable if we continue to resist. But we get that free will choice. We have the choice, the option. Okay. So we have the Knight of Wands coming out with lust, which is strength in the traditional deck. So this is a lot of passionate energy coming through. This is a lot of passionate energy. This is, once again, though, right, with the Strength card here. This is the Strength card is the taming of the beast, right? It is one of the traditional interpretations for the Strength card is the beast would represent the mind. And we would be taming and gaining mastery over the mind. But it's gaining mastery over some sort of lesson right now. And really stepping into our, like the Knight of Wands, this is fast-moving, hot, passionate energy. All right? And so for some people, this could have to do, we were talking about relationships too. There could be some hot, passionate energy, something that you're learning through that experience right now. There could be some people who maybe one of these old patterns is falling back into patterns of lust or indulgence in one form or another. Whatever this card to me right now represents, it feels almost like the Devil card too, but it's the overcoming of the Devil energy. So where is it that we are being asked to overcome that Devil energy today? Where is it that we're being asked to tap into that inner strength? Right? What is the beast that we are trying to tame? Because the Suit of Wands, this is all about passion. This is all about creativity. It is about desire and sexuality as well, right? But it's about spirituality too. So this is really us being asked to step into the driver's seat of our own lives, to overcome those energies that have held us back, to really, like we said, the taming of the beast. And then we have Adjustment coming out, which is the Judgment card. Yeah, so that's really being called to action in some area of our lives today. Being called, I'm trying to find another word, but it's not coming out here. Feeling that need, that desire to move forward, feeling that desire to overcome, and to really step up in some area of our lives, to call upon that strength, that deep reservoir of strength that has always lied within us. And the thing that's interesting about this lion in this card is it has many heads. So this isn't just one aspect. This is like many aspects or areas of our lives. Many aspects of, it's like the seven-headed dragon is sort of what it feels like in a way. And so it's like all of these old aspects, these old coping mechanisms, these old dysfunctional ways of being, we're being asked to overcome all of that, right? I mean, look at her. She is riding that lion. All right, and she's like totally naked too. Like she's got her head thrown back. There's a reason why this is called the lust card, right? But it's like she's not afraid. There's no fear here. She knows that she has tamed that lion. And look at all of this energy that she has access to. And I'm noticing it looks like there's snakes up there, which are symbols of rebirth, right? Regeneration. But it's like, look at all this potent creation energy that she has access to now that she has mastered these aspects of her being. Right? That's very much the energy of the blue lunar storm, right? That becoming the eye of the storm. And really learning how to direct the fire. How to direct our fire. But there are choices, there are decisions that have to be made. And with this sword here, this sword represents truth. This sword represents clarity and illumination. The cutting away of what's no longer necessary. The cutting away of that which doesn't serve us any longer. And then we have the Six of Cups, pleasure coming out. And the Queen of Pentacles. So this is beautiful energy. This is beautiful, luxurious energy here. It's like, what it really feels like is trading one pleasure for another. So I feel like there are people who, some of these demons, some of these, the dragons, right? Some of the heads of these dragons have to do with pleasure. They have to do with lust. They have to do with, the fulfillment of the physical senses. And it's like we're being asked to give up certain pleasures in our lives, possibly. And we're not seeing that what we are going to be gaining is going to bring us so much more fulfillment than what it is that we're being asked to let go of. It's like these things that gave us a base level of fulfillment but weren't truly fulfilling within our souls, we're being asked to let go of, to gain this greater stability and fulfillment. This higher sense of stability and fulfillment, this deeper experience of pleasure, beyond what the five human senses can understand, right? But it is causing us a little bit of strife, right? This Five of Wands energy. Tell me some more here. That's that resistance, right? And then we have the universe here, the world. Major cycle coming to an end here. Major cycle trying to close out. And if we are holding on to it, that's what is preventing the wheel from being able to turn. That's what's we're trying to prevent the inevitable, right? And so we need to let go of that. We need to let go of that. And we need to understand too, this is also the culmination, right? This card doesn't just represent endings. It represents having it all. It also can represent travel. Yeah. So this is like us. There's so much that's wanting to shift and change for us. Even for some people, literal physical locations wanting to shift and change. Moves, traveling. There's so much that wants to open up for us. But we're feeling so resistant because we're not wanting to let go of certain things. But it's time. It's time. And we're not wanting to, it's like this energy of needing to grow up. There's with that Saturn energy, right? We are being asked to mature. We are being asked to grow up in some sense of the word. And we feel like growing up means that we have to, like, our lives aren't going to be as enjoyable anymore. That's where this pleasure, this lust energy comes in. But that's not true. That is not true. That's a miss. I wanted to say misunderstanding, but that's not necessarily the word that I wanted to use. Now we got the Seven of Cups, which is debauchery in this deck here. Yeah, so a lot of that energy, a lot of old habits and patterns wanting to return, a lot of indulgence energy showing itself right now. Yeah, this is a lot of confusion too, a lot of choices, a lot of those free will choices coming up. And so are we going to choose with the old mentality, or are we going to choose with the new mentality that's wanting to grow within us? With the Nine of Swords. Yeah, staying stuck in these old patterns. Staying stuck in this old energy is only bringing us pain. Right? It's like that prison of our own making. And some of us falling back into that illusion that which imprisons us is actually that which will set us free. And so some people are getting a reminder of that right now if they've forgotten. All right. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Ten of Cups. And the Star on the bottom of the deck. So the Star and the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So once we can let this go, once we can embrace this energy that's calling to us, embrace this evolution that's calling to us, embrace this level of maturity that we're being asked to attain, that we're being asked to embrace, maybe sacrifice a little bit of the pleasure in the short term for greater pleasure in the long term, right? It's that kind of an understanding. Then this is the energy that's waiting for us. Which is beautiful. And the 1 plus the 10 is the 11, right? Which is a master number. Yeah, so this is a very fulfilling new cycle. Very fulfilling new cycle. In the material realm, material cycle, something that we can see, something that we can taste, something that we can feel, something that has stability, longevity. Right? It's all about the long game. So anywhere where those devil energies, those lust energies, anywhere where those old demons are popping back up again, it's time to put them to bed once and for all. It's time to put them to bed once and for all. To claim Two of Pentacles, or Two of Wands rather, dominion over our reality. All right, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I love you so very, very much. If you liked this video, hit that like button. Drop a comment. Let me know how these energies are feeling for you, how this beautiful day is going for you. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And my email is down below with the list of the different services that I offer. I offer personal readings. I offer different types of energy healing. And we do belief work. We do all kinds of different stuff on here. So just if there's something that you're going through, something that you're wanting assistance with, just reach out to me. Let me know what you have going on, and we can figure out what the best approach is. I love working with you guys one-on-one. I love making these videos for you guys. I love each and every single way that I get to connect with you. And I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Mwah.